Morning, everyone. We're super excited, super pumped. We got all those alerts off. Welcome, everyone. It is Friday, Fantabulous Friday. We hope that you are having a great week. And now you're going into the weekend, right? We want to celebrate our wins. This is Carol, so AKA Naughty Boss Live with you.
Sisters. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, putting on my lip gloss on this Fantabulous Friday.
You
And
do that.
excuse me. As I was walking the monster around the circle just a few minutes ago, I thought to myself, yeah, it's cold out here, but it's fantabulous. Being out in the fresh air really invigorates you. Little, obviously chilly out there, but like, who cares? Was great to get outside. So.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I have not been outside. As you are aware, I traveled yesterday and I am at the Mohegan Sun in the new place or the piece of what they've got going on now. They've got a new exhibition hall, and I'm here with Winners Choice Championships, and we're getting ready. Yes, we got workers all around, and I'll kind of go this way so you could see we are at the back end of where the staging is going to go, and it's super exciting to watch a production from start to finish. And really appreciate what goes into putting on an event. And there's close to 4,000 athletes. We're talking, times two. You add that with parents, grandparents, and all kinds of spectators. So we're looking for probably about 12,000 people coming through Mohegan Sun tomorrow. And then on Sunday, a little less, probably about 10. But you know what? It's inspiring, it's invigorating. It's all about cheer and dance. And that gets you all pumped up. And it was funny, as I was leaving the Vero Beach area, on Breeze Airways, so cool, get to see the ocean from that perspective and all the terrain. And then, of course, as soon as I fly over to Bradley, I'm like, am I in a lost planet? Where's living Earth? Because obviously the terrain looks different, right? You go from beautiful turquoise colors, beautiful bright sunshine, to where you look like you're landing on Mars or something. But it's great to be in New England. We do have actually some doors open as they are setting up staging. I'll give you a little tour as to what's going on. So I do feel that cool breeze coming in. I left, I think it was about 86, 88 degrees. I have no idea what the temperature is outside. Definitely a little bit chillier, but even with that, the doors are open. It's brisk, but it feels, I would say, the same thing, invigorating. I'm not cold. I'm in a t-shirt, not my usual tank top, but life is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Life is good, and that just goes to show you, you adapt, and it can be hard, no doubt, right? But it's all perception and how our minds perceive that.
Absolutely. I just got an update from my good friend Lori over here. I'm going to switch this around so you can see her. She is working really hard. Last minute details, last minute registration changes, swaps, that always goes on anytime you're running an event. But she actually just looked at the temp in this area, which is Unkinsville, it's 34 degrees. So yeah, I would say it's a little bit nipply. But with that being said, it does feel good. So a nice little change. But what's exciting is, the anticipation, so we always talk about, we have our things. We got Monday Mindset, Triumph Tuesday, Wealth Wellness Wednesday, Trending Thursday. And then, of course, Fantabulous Friday, where it's a day to really kind of review your week. Did you meet your goals? Did you meet your health and wellness challenges? Was your mindset in the right place? And did you have to detour and or redirect your vision, your mindset, your daily routine because you had a derailment? But we always use Fantabulous Friday to actually celebrate the wins. And when we talk about the wins, we're talking about the crumbs. We're talking about the little stepping pebbles to the stepping stones, because we know that anything that's worth fighting for, worth really working towards, takes time. And we also know in order for goals to become habits and really change the direction of where your health and wellness goes, you need the stepping stones, you need the pebbles, you need the crumbs, because you need to celebrate those wins and pat yourself on the back. So how many times do we do that with ourselves? Especially women, we tend to not celebrate our wins. We tend to think, it was no big deal. Well, okay, so I renegotiated, I was juggling through. Well, yeah, but so what? You did it. And when we talk about the stepping stone or the wind, we always use the example of making your bed for a reason, because for some, that's paramount. like they can't start their day. And we use that as an example. That's your first success of the day, is making your bed. It's that simple, but you complete the task and you say, good job. Because if nothing else I get done today, at least I made my bed, right? So it's a good attitude to have. And that leads you to all those other stepping stones. So with that being said, Jan, tell us about some of your wins, some of your little crumbs and stepping stones.
Well, great question. And I just want to add to that before I tell you what my, wins were. We need, the key word in there is simplicity, to keep it as simple as possible. So our mindset kind of transforms what we bring in, and like making our bed. Oh yeah, that sounds kind of hokey, but think about that for a moment. Even on those days where maybe you're feeling kind of crappy and you make your bed, and then you go back and you're like, wow, this looks great, and that makes you feel good. So some wins for me, well, I would have to say hydrating more, because I've been lacking a little bit in that department. So I would say that's definitely something worth celebrating. Because let's face it, you got to hydrate, right?
Oh, absolutely. And let's talk about like the why we hydrate. A lot of people think the obvious thing, oh, because you're thirsty. We know that, but it's also a way that when you think about it, our bodies are made up of approximately 82% of water, right? Well, that needs movement, that needs flow, like the river. You want to like flush out the toxins. Toxins are not just about the food we eat, but the air we breathe, the chemicals that we are surrounding ourselves with that we can't avoid. So the hydration, while it's really, making sure that, you think of your veins, think of your different parts of your body, different organs, they need that moistness. They need that water flow through. But also it's to actually penetrate through our organs to get rid of, like, especially with the gut and the colon, you want to clean out the digestion tract and got to keep constantly pushing stuff out. So the rule of thumb, when somebody tells me, well, how much water do you drink? The rule of thumb, which we talk about often, is typically half your body weight in water. However, that does change as you age. You got to be concerned about your kidneys. You don't want to make sure you're overdoing it. The other key piece is I tell people, use your own pee as a example of where you should be. So if you are continually peeing bright yellow, that means you're not hydrated enough. The clearer that becomes, that means that your body's in that really hydration good mode. And once it finally gets clear, you've reached that level. Continue to, maybe slow down the drinking, but keep it going, because then you've thoroughly flushed out your whole body, which is so important. A lot of people just don't do that.
Right. And the other thing with hydration too is, excuse me, once you get to that 100-ounce mark or above, you really need to consult with your medical professional, because for instance, if you are on any type of medication, that may throw everything off. So
your electrolytes, everything. Yeah. See, that's why we talk about as you age, your organs just don't work the same. No matter how well, you're eating a clean diet and or balanced meals, colorful plates. We always talk about the colors of the rainbow being on our plate. So you really want to listen to your own body, and not everyone can consume after body weight water, and that is okay. Just as long as you get to that stage where your pee is more on the clearer side, you've done it justice. So that does take a stepping stone. That is a win, because that is difficult for a lot of people. Mine, I'm super excited because I actually did 2 fasts that were over 21 hours. And a lot of people say, well, how can you do that? Like even with the Winner's Choice staff here that I'm with and so blessed to be a part of, ask me like you're so structured that way. I've been one that breakfast was never a big deal for me. And it's my mind, in my opinion, it's a fallacy that, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That is not true. From all the research that I've collected over the years, it's really hydration should be the first key piece of your morning. And a great way to drink water for those that don't like it, add a little lemon to it. Infuse it with, make a nice fresh pitcher of water, slice up some cucumber, maybe squish some blueberries or any kind of berries, and then give it that natural good flavor. And it really does the body good. But actually doing 2, I normally will try to get in 1 fast close to 22, 24 hours. But the fact that I got 2 in One was like 21 point whatever. So it's just at that 22-hour mark, and the other one was actually over 22 hours. So, you know, it feels good when you kind of detox your body that way. It is Lent season. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, think of Lent as giving up something. And I was actually having this great conversation with somebody on the plane, and we were talking about Lent. She goes, oh, you know, you're in health and wellness, so we're kind of going over that. And she goes, well, I'm going to give up. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm giving up. I said, well, why do you got to give up? She said, well, what do you mean? I said, Lent is not just about giving something up. It's also something that maybe you want to improve about yourself. Maybe you need more patience in your life. Maybe you need more understanding. Maybe you wake up cranky. Maybe you're short-tempered and you want to work on those things, right? Lent is a great time to be mindful of, okay, how can I improve myself? How can I better serve people? Where can I add value? So it's not just always about giving up. It's also about giving to yourself to say, where can I improve? So I love that. So I think I accomplished quite a bit this week, and I was pretty happy.
That's awesome. So funny story about giving up something for Lent. So, you know, Gary and I have this discussion every year. So I think it was Sunday, I said to when I got back from Tina's, and I said, you know, you still haven't told me what you're giving up for Lent. And he's like, you know what, you know, I'll just give up ice cream. And I said, oh, that's too bad, because I just bought you 2.5 gallons of your ice cream. Ah, Jesus, oh my God, that's going to be really hard. But he's been very good about it. You know, he finally, you know, he took it out a couple times, and I gave him the look like, you can't have that. And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot, and puts it back.
That's awesome. That's so funny. That's so funny. Well, you know what? And there is going to the rewards of, you know, committing to that and seeing it come to fruition, knowing that it's right in your freezer. And we talk about that. How many times, you know, that we all do this. I think we all can relate to. You open up that refrigerator or that freezer, and you're really not hungry, but you're bored, you're stressed, and you want your mind on something else. So you open up the door, and you're just like looking, and you just aimlessly like, what can I grab to eat? You know, Lent is another good time to really understand the reason that obviously we're nourishing our bodies with food, but also knowing that, you know, we got to assist ourselves in making good choices. Now, I'm not talking about just eating, you know, celery and carrot sticks, people. I'm talking just about eating good food, but also that mindset to prepare. So I've really implemented, like we talked a couple of weeks ago, the jar method. So I take all in my berries, whether it's raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, rinse them off. You want to rinse them off thoroughly and let them dry naturally. So you let them dry naturally, you put them in a glass jar, and, you know, like the mason jar, I'm talking about the good old mason jar. Now, when you open up that refrigerator, you see a beautiful color of variety. It's ready to just pour into your hand or your bowl. And this is the beauty of it. Your fruit stays fresher longer. See, I got Lori like getting all excited over here. She just learned something new. And that I love listening. So, I mean, and it's such a great way, because there's a lot of times we do eat out of boredom, and we try not to. You know, outside influences impact our mindset. But at least now when we're opening up, we're not wasting electricity by just standing in front of the refrigerator, right? And we know the cost of electricity has got way up the roof, right? So we want to limit that. It's also a great way to keep your refrigerator running more efficiently, that you're not just opening up the door and letting all the cool air out. But then your choices are made for you. And and I also now have been doing it with like cherry tomatoes. I'll do it with celery sticks. I'm not a big carrot person. To me, the carrot's almost, my opinion, is a wasted vegetable. You know, it's I don't know, something about it. To me, there's not a lot of flavor to it, and, you know, a lot of sugar to it. So yeah, but I do it with lettuce. I do it with, like I said, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers. How many times you cut up a cucumber and, you know, you've already peeled it and then it's like mush? I'm telling you, rinse it off, let it dry naturally, put it in these mason jars. You can get them very cheap at Wally World or wherever your favorite, you know, craft store, whatever. Cheap. And Nicole just called me, so call her back. See, it's like we're like in sync here. She just called me, but I had to like I'm live, Nicole, girlfriend. Sorry, had to like take you right off the button, but you can call her back for me. She's probably coming in with her car because we got to unload. We got stuff going on. So let me just turn this around so you can see. So if you look at this, it's a huge, as you can see, huge convention area, and it looks pretty like gray and silver right now because we haven't set up. So over here, so you can see the production of everything that's going on. I'm walking over. So all of this is where at the state, like where everyone will sit, all the spectators. And over here is where they are setting up. So you can see over here, there's a black curtain.
Yes.
That curtain will be the side of the spectator. On the other side will be the warm-up area where all the athletes will warm up. So right now, and then you can see this, we got some lighting, getting ready to go up here. All this lighting will be up in the air. And then you look over here. It's so cool to see the production from finish to end. This is the stage they're working on. So they're setting up the stage. So it's going to be a great event. We're super, super pumped, super excited. So if you are coming to Mohegan Sun, check out Winner's Choice Championship. It's a great event. You're going to see some great athletes, great entertainment, great music. And of course, you got Mohegan Sun. So it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And on that note, we all hope that you have an amazing, fantabulous Friday. We need to come up with a question of the day.
Okay, so the question of the day would be, let's see. I don't know. I think I picked the last question. Why don't you pick this question?
Gosh, what is?
I know. Oh, I got one.
Okay, good.
Only because I'm at Mohegan Sun.
Well,
Now, I'm not a donut person, but there are two different donuts. So do you do Dunkin' Donuts or do you do Krispy Kreme donuts?
oh,
Of course, now, when we're talking about health and wellness, neither one are healthy people, let's be real. But health and wellness does not mean that you cannot have a treat. So if you like your donuts, do you prefer Krispy Kreme or do you prefer Dunkin'?
good question of the day. And on that note, again, we hope you have an amazing, fantabulous Friday. So the question of the day is, if you like donuts, do you like Dunkin' Donuts or the Krispy Kreme? I mean, the Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme, I love it. You go, girlfriend, I love it.
Whoops. So go to our website, www.twosistas.online. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0 with two
sisters. And this is Carol, so aka Naughty Boss, live from Mohegan Sun at the Winner's Choice Championship production time. You guys have a great, fantabulous Friday. Don't forget, have that conversation with yourself in the mirror. Let yourself know that you do good. Pat yourself on the back. You had a great week. Have a great weekend. And we will see you Monday for Monday Mindset. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.